Hi kindergarten artists, it's Mrs. Pylan. Today I'm going to talk to you about the artwork of Ted Harrison. Ted Harrison was an artist from Canada and he really liked to paint the landscapes up in Canada. I hope you noticed when you watched the two videos that he used lots of curvy lines in his landscapes. He used zigzag lines sometimes in his landscapes and lots of curved lines in his landscapes. Today we're going to create a landscape using lots of curvy lines, zigzags, curved, and the two families of colors that you see here. He really liked to use the cool color family and the warm color family. Most of the time in his artwork, the two families were separate. Today you can create a landscape using the two different families of colors like you see here. So first we're going to start by drawing a landscape, and anytime we create a landscape picture, it's going to go side to side. So in order to make our landscape look realistic, we're going to make the bottom of our picture really big so it looks like it's really close to us. Okay, so we're going to put 4 finger spaces at the bottom, and I want you to use your pencil to draw a curvy line across all the way to the other side. So this is called the foreground, and the foreground is in the front, and that's where things are really big. The next area is called the middle ground, so we're going to use about 3 finger spaces because that area is going to be medium. And we're going to draw all the way across the paper again, making sure that we're using curvy, bumpy lines. Okay? And the last space is called the background. Can you say background? And the background's all the way in the back, so it's going to be teeny tiny. So we're going to draw using 2 finger spaces, and I'm going to make some mountains using big curvy lines all the way to the other side of the paper. Good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to draw the sun. And your sun could be coming up over the mountains. It could be coming down from the top of the sky, or it could be a circle in the middle. I'm going to draw a circle in the middle like this. And then I'm going to use lots of curved lines to make it look like our sun is radiating out, making sure that it looks nice and warm. So I'm going to do a big curved lines. They're about 2 finger spaces apart. Some more curved on this side. And again, keeping them nice and far apart. Curved lines. Good. One last thing I'm going to show you how to do is to create something like a river, or it could be a road. So we're going to make a river coming from this foreground mountain. So I'm going to draw a curvy line coming all the way to the edge of my paper like this. Then I'm going to go back to that little spot, and I'm going to draw a curvy line coming all the way down, and I'm going to make my river come down across the bottom of my picture too. So, like I said, this could be a river or it could be a road. That's up to you. So now we get to start coloring. If you look at this example here, you're going to see that the bottom is all cool colors and the top is all warm colors. Remember, the cold colors make us feel cold and the warm colors make us feel warm. So you get to choose if your sky is going to be cold and your landscape is going to be warm, or if your sky is going to be warm and your landscape is going to be cool. So in this example, I have a warm sky and a cool landscape. I think I'm going to do the opposite in this one. So all you need is some regular crayons. You could use markers or paint if you want to. I'm going to show you how to do it with just crayons. So what we're going to do first is we're going to separate our crayons into the 2 families of colors. So we're going to make the cool colored sky. And if I need the cool colors, I'm going to do purple, blue, and green. Now my crayon box also has some turquoise in it and light green. If yours does, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Then we need the warm colors. So we're going to find our red, and our orange, and our yellow. Now my crayon box has 2 other kinds of orange as well, so you could use those if you want to. I think I've decided to make my sky warm and my ground cool, so I'm going to switch it up. So there's my warm colors, and I'm just going to use regular purple, regular green, and regular blue. So in case you don't have those extra colors, that's okay. So I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to say that this is a river. Okay, so I'm going to use my crayon like a pencil and do little finger ups and downs, and I'm going to fill in my river. At the end, we are going to use a black crayon, or whatever material you're using, to go over our pencil lines. So I'm going to go, and I'm going to speed up the video a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now we have our river. Anything that's in the front is going to be really dark too. So I'm going to take my dark green, my regular green, and I'm going to push really hard here. So for my foreground in this area, I'm going to still hold it like a crayon. I'm going to turn my paper so it's easier on my hand. If it's easier for you to turn your paper this way and color, that's fine too. So I'm going to color this, and I'm going to press really hard to make it really dark. And while I'm coloring, I'm still going to be careful, but I'm pressing hard and I'm making sure there's no white spaces in my coloring. Whoopsies. That's going to happen sometimes, huh? So I'm going to keep coloring, making sure that I'm still doing my best and filling in those white spaces. Alright, now I'm going to speed up the video a little bit. And there we go. So now I have my foreground, which is going to be really dark. I didn't press quite hard enough, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to make it a little bit darker by adding another layer of green. That's better. Okay, so now this area I'm going to color in soft. I'm going to press soft with my crayon, and that will help make this look like it's behind this mountain. So I'm going to start over here, and I'm still doing little finger ups and downs, but this time instead of pressing hard, I'm going to press soft. See how it's making it nice and light? Now if you have a light green crayon, you could also do it that way as well. Or you can make it light purple. That's really up to you. If you looked at the artwork of Ted Harrison, his landscapes were not super realistic. And we've talked about how artwork that isn't super realistic is called what? That's right, abstract. So it looks like a landscape, but it's not super realistic. See how that's nice and light? So now I'm going to speed up the video a little bit so that you can see what it's going to look like. And there we go. Oh, there's a spot I missed. So now I'm going to paint this, I'm going to color this purple, and then I'm going to use my warm color crayons like you see here to fill in the sun. Now I did a pattern in this one, but in this one, can you guess how I made two different kinds of orange? That's right, I pressed soft and I pressed hard. And I did the same here. I pressed soft and then medium and then extra hard to make it a really dark red. You could try that just like we did before. Or you could do a pattern. It's really up to you. So once you're 100% finished coloring, you can use your black crayon to trace over your lines like I started doing here. Now some of Ted Harrison's work had white lines, and if you have a white crayon that will show up, that's great. I do not have a white crayon that will show up right now. So I'm just going to very carefully trace over my lines. Whee! Up up and over those purple mountains. Please don't forget to put your name and teacher code on the back of your paper so that when I see you again, I can admire your artwork. Here we go. And now we are all finished with our Ted Harrison landscape. Can't wait to see everybody's artwork. Have a great day.